Yeah, let me first quickly go through the agenda of this talk. So basically in this talk, I'll be discussing on three main topics. Firstly, I'll be talking on the auditing feature in EDB Advanced Server. And that will be followed by the introduction to stats collector process and some of the catalog views. I'll then be explaining about the PG stat statements and its use cases. And later I'll be talking about this EDB specific package named DBMS underscore profiler. And lastly, I'll be talking on some of the useful debugging tools like Page Inspect and PG Stat Triple. And then I'll be, we'll be doing the question answer session. So yeah. So let me start with the first topic then. So the first topic is basically about auditing. So what is database auditing and why is it needed? Database auditing is basically a process of observing or monitoring the database activities so as to be aware of the various actions taken by database users. In short, it is a database facility that provides answers to different questions like who viewed and modified the sensitive data in the system, at what date and time was the data modified or viewed, which program or client application was used to view the data, and if the data got changed, then at what was the old and the new version of data. So to get the answer to these sort of questions, we can make use of database auditing. And other than this, there are different other requirements. There are different other necessities for which the database auditing can be used. For example, database auditing can be used to prevent database users from taking any inappropriate actions. Because the users are aware of the fact that they would be very easily caught if they do any inappropriate activity, right? So they are all aware of the fact that with the help of database auditing facility, one can very easily find the identity of a person trying to do any bad activity. So that way, database auditing can help in preventing database users from taking any bad actions. Apart from that, database auditing can also be used to investigate any suspicious activity. So this database auditing feature can help investigators, to find out any suspicious activity, as in access to the database during non-business hour, or unexpected changes in the user permissions, or unexpected change in data content growth, and things like that. Similarly, this database auditing can also be used to identify abuse of access rights. I mean, there are many a times, when users are granted more permissions than actually they need to do their job, right? For example, let's say if there is a user A, then and he's a granted permission of read write when he is just supposed to be given the read permission. So he can make use of the write permission to do bad things, right? So in that case, to identify such bad actions, he can make use of this database auditing feature, right? Now, what is EDB audit logging feature? So EDB audit logging is basically a feature in EDB Advanced Server that allows auditors, database administrators, or security administrators to track and analyze the database activities. Basically, it generates the set of audit files, which contains all the relevant information required to track and analyze the database activities. And these audit logs basically contains the information about the date and time when the database user established the connection to the advanced server. It contains the information about the number of failed authentication attempts, and it also contains the information about the database objects that a user created, modified, or viewed when connected to the EDB advanced server. Now, how to use EDB audit logging feature? So by default, auditing is disabled in EDB advanced server. And if we want to use it, we must first enable it. And for that, we have a configuration parameter called EDB underscore audit, which is initially set to some a value called none, which basically means that the EDB audit logging is currently disabled. And if we want to enable it, in that case, we can set it to two values, either CSV or XML. So if we set this parameter to the CSV value, it will enable auditing and will write audit reports to the CSV file. Similarly, if we set it to XML, it will again enable auditing, but this time it will write the audit records to an XML file, right? Now, once auditing is enabled, we must think about where to store the audit files. And for this, we have another configuration parameter called EDB audit directory, which can be used to do so, right? So by default, this configuration parameter is set to somewhere in data directory, which means all the audit log files will be generated inside the data directory, right? But the problem there is, like, when you create audit directory inside data directory, it will unnecessarily increase the size of data directory, because every now and then the audit files are generated. So when the base backup and all is taken, it will unnecessarily increase the size of the base backup. So to avoid that, we can make use of this configuration parameter to set the audit directory somewhere outside the data directory. But again, if we want to do that, we want to ensure that it is set to some location where only the privileged user can have access to. And so now, when we have enabled this auditing facility, and when we have decided like where to store the audit files, the next step would be to decide what exactly we want to audit. So for this, we have another set of configuration parameter which tells us about which information can be logged into the audit file, right? What information needs to be audited. For example, the first thing is EDB Audit Connect. So this basically enables auditing of all connections to the instance, right? So this can be set to 3 different values. It can be set to successful, meaning that, in that case, it will only log the successful connections, right? And if it is set to fail, in that case, only the failed connection attempts will be logged. And if it is set to all, both the successful and failed connection attempts will be logged. Now, another parameter is EDB Audit Disconnect, which is just an opposite of EDB Audit Connect, as in it will just log the disconnection informations. And the third parameter is EDB Audit Statements, which basically enables auditing of different categories of SQL statement, such as insert, update, delete, truncate, etc. So whichever SQL statement you specify with this parameter, that statement will get logged into the audit file. And the fourth one is EDB Audit Tag, which basically allows user to specify a string value, and that string value will get associated with every record being added into the audit file.